Hello guys, Vortex here and welcome to another video. So I know I'm a bit late about the Kagiri Zers stuff, but I think you would really excuse me because I had my final year exams just this week and I was super busy. So sorry about this delay, guys. Uh, let's just jump right into it. I just logged into the game and saw the Kagiri stuff. And I just wanted to make a quick read and guide on how's Kagiri doing, where should you use him, and should you even summon for him. The answer for all the limited heroes is the answer is yes. Absolutely, you should go for any limited hero because they will be limited and they will expire. You cannot summon them anymore, at least for like 6 months. So that's first thing. Second thing is it's actually a nice way to manipulate your pity to get three legendaries guaranteed at about 350. So it's like a legendary every 110, about that 50, 115. So it's a good rate for legendaries. So that's why I always go for limited time heroes. So the answer is absolutely you should go for him if you have the at least 250, 300 summons. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's just jump right into his kit and see where can you use him. First of all, he has a very high basic attack. He's very comparable to Salazar with his HP and his basic attack. Very high basic attack. The rest is just regular fighter stuff. Okay, so about his talent is probably the most confusing part about him. The rest are just so super simple, but his talent is that he launches sweeping strike at the farthest enemy within ultimate range, and that range is vortex range, very long range. So he's one type range, but his ultimate is vortex range. So that's where most of his damage is going to come from. He can launch Sweeping Strike is actually a 180% AoE damage followed by 480% single target damage. Okay, so it's a very good nuke, but it's not as good as Salazar nuke because it's only about 480. Salazar is about 800 or 1000, something like that. Crazy. But he's a bit down Salazar, and his ultimate is actually what makes him a little bit comparable to Salazar. Let's just continue with his passive, with his talent. At the farthest enemy within alt range every 40 seconds, okay? But this 40-second is decreased every time he deals damage. He reduces the cooldown by 1 second. So you need to build him with a lot of attack speed in order for him to uh, to have this passive, which is his main source of damage consistently. The AoE damage of the Swiping Strike and the Emperor Strike. Emperor Strike is actually an enhanced version of the Sweeping Strike. Uh, uh, it's just instead of 180, it's 200, and instead of 480%, it deals 400% two times, which is 800 damage, which is very high. Okay, and he also inflicts bleed. So I think the best comparison to him would be against Salazar. So we need to compare him in a single target arena, for example, and for in Samara, for example, and see like how much of a difference both of them can be because they both apply bleed, they both have very huge nukes. That's the main idea. So he inflicts bleed, and the like overboard part over Salazar is that he ignores 50% of the damage and he dispels one buff. This dispel one buff immediately makes him a Samura nuker because it's in Samura, especially after the new patch, it's all about dispelling that buff consistently every you need about 20 seconds between his casting of all of uh, of Aegis shields. So I think Kigiri would probably replace Lucius for nightmare teams. And if you don't have if you have a Torador, you definitely use Kagiri over Lucius. That's a really, really good part. So his talent is a bit confusing, but we're done. He deals 100% damage, very typical. Uh, okay, his parrying during his ult increases attack by 20% for 10 seconds, which can go up to 30%, 28%. It's 30% for 10 seconds. So he probably have a nice way to increase his ult damage. Uh, and this is also a very straightforward one. His passive is when he does sweeping strike or emperor strikes, there's a 15% chance to immediately launch an identical strike in the opposite direction. So when he is going for the attack, he deals the attack and finishes. When he's going back to his original state, there's a 15% chance that he will deal an extra attack. So it's an opposite direction. It does not mean backwards, but it means when he's coming back to his original spot. That's a bit confusing, by the way. This can go up 6 and 4, so it's another 25%. So a very, very good chance to double nuke. Very decent chance, actually. Okay, his ultimate is that he's 700 cost ultimate, so it's a very, very cheap ultimate, actually. Okay. He sheathes his blade and prepares to launch an extra sweeping strike after 8 seconds. Okay. When receiving direct damage when sheathed, buries the damage and launches an extra sweeping strike early. So essentially he like prepares to launch the sweeping strike, but if he's attacked, it triggers instantly instead of waiting for the 8 seconds. Okay. If the parry is triggered within 3 seconds of entering the sheathed state, he launches Emperor Strike, which is the enhanced version. So essentially, you want him exactly when he's getting hit, you want to activate his ult in order for him to achieve this Emperor Strike, which deals 400% damage 2 times 800% damage. He's also unable to use his basic attacks during the sheathed state. He's essentially preparing for anyone to attack him, to trigger him, to just slice him. That's what I get from this confusing ultimate, but it's just that simple. You need to trigger his ult once he is getting attacked. That simple to trigger this Ember Strike immediately. So after reading this confusing kit, the impression that I get is Salazar identical. It remains to be determined if he's better or worse than Salazar. Okay, so Guild Boss 2 and single target arena. That's where we use Salazar, right? He's going to be exactly also usable in these single two spots. So let's just go over his awakening real quick. When launching boost attack, additional restore 3% and 3% HP. Very, very comparable to Salazar, also where he restores HP. The rage bar is very, very good actually. So his A1 is actually very decent. His A3 is within 10 seconds of Soothing Strike is activated. Each direct attack inflicts additional damage equal to 34% of direct damage within 10 seconds, and after Strike is activated, each damage attack inflicts additional damage 2 times, and each time equal 25% of direct. That's a lot of wordings. So essentially, he launches another instance of attack with Sweeping Strike and another 2 instances of attack with Emperor Strike. So that's actually very, very powerful. So, boom, he's gonna like over dethrone Salazar from single target nuker, especially at A3. Especially at A3. That's a lot of attacks. A lot of times of attack of 400%. That's crazy, guys. His A3 is busted. Penetration, his A5, his Sweeping Strike and Emperor Strikes launched during his ultimate will always trigger Shadow Counter. Damn, that also means he's gonna go for a double. Oh my gosh, his A5 is cracked. So it essentially guarantees you to do 1200% damage every time hit tags. 1200% damage. That's like insane. Let's go for Salazar. I want to just see how much damage does Salazar do compared to him. Like this is crazy, guys. How much damage does Salazar do? Where's his kills? Am I missing? Okay. His ultimate at max. Let's affect the ult. My Salazar's max. Where I'm going? Where's my Salazar? Damn, this is taking super long. Okay. How much damage does he do with his ultimate? 300%, 6 strikes, 300%, and the last dealing 400%, so that's 700% plus another 4, so it's about 100 at 1000, 1100 damage. Okay, so Kagiri does 1200, so he's a little bit above Salazar. He's essentially a little bit better than Salazar, right? Yeah, a little bit better than Salazar, especially with the dispelling debuff. He's 2 steps ahead of Salazar just because of the fact that he dispels buffs. So pretty straightforward. Uh, yes, you should summon. He's an absolute single target nuker. If you don't have Salazar, you should go for him. And even if you have Salazar, you should go for him because he's limited. Okay? I think that was it, guys. It was a little bit a longer video, but thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe and pray for me in the comments to pass these exams. Okay, thank you guys for watching.